James Carter was a journalist who loved uncovering the truth behind urban legends. He had heard stories about Ravenwood Hospital, a massive, abandoned building at the edge of town. People said it was haunted, that strange noises came from inside, and that those who entered never came back the same. James didn't believe in ghosts, but he loved a good mystery. He wanted the real story. One cold night, he drove to the hospital with only a flashlight, a camera, and a notebook. The building loomed over him, its windows shattered, its walls covered in vines. The front doors were unlocked, hanging open like a mouth waiting to swallow him. Taking a deep breath, he stepped inside. The hospital's secrets. The air was thick with the scent of dust and rot. Papers were scattered across the floor. Old hospital beds were rusted, and flickering exit signs barely lit the hallways. James turned on his flashlight and started taking pictures. As he walked, the silence felt too heavy, too unnatural. Then he heard it. "Help me." A faint whisper. James stopped. "Hello?" His voice echoed. No answer. He shook it off and kept going. In one of the patient rooms, he found a single wheelchair facing the wall. He stepped closer, shining his light on it. Suddenly, it rolled backward on its own. James stumbled back, his breath quickening. "Okay," he muttered, forcing a nervous laugh. "Maybe just the wind." But there was no wind inside. The file down another hallway, he found what looked like an old records room. Curious, he pushed open the door. Inside, cabinets were knocked over, and old medical files lay scattered everywhere. He picked up one of the files and wiped the dust off. The cover read, "Patient number 47. James Carter." James's stomach dropped. That was his name. He flipped the file open, his hands shaking. It contained his picture, but younger. The date of admission was May 14th, 1995, his birthday. The last page made his breath catch. Patient died on May 15th, 1995. James's vision blurred. That was impossible. He was alive. He was here. Right? The truth unfolds. Suddenly, the whispers returned, louder this time, circling him. "You never left." Footsteps echoed in the hallway. James spun around, shining his flashlight. The beam landed on a figure in a hospital gown. The man's face was pale, his eyes hollow. James took a step back. "Who are you?" The figure tilted its head. "Don't you remember?" Pain shot through James's head. Memories flooded back. He saw himself strapped to a bed, screaming. Doctors surrounded him, needles, bright lights, darkness. James clutched his head. "No, no, that's not real." "You were a patient here," the voice whispered. "You never made it out." James ran. He bolted down the halls, heart pounding. He needed to get out. Now, but the hallways kept changing. The doors disappeared. The walls stretched longer. And then he saw it. A mirror. He ran to it, desperate to see himself. But there was nothing. No reflection. Because James Carter had been dead for years. The hospital wasn't haunted. He was. The whispers grew into screams. The walls cracked. The floor crumbled beneath him. And then, darkness. James opened his eyes. He was back in the records room. The file was still in his hands. The whispers had stopped. The hospital was silent. But now he knew the truth. He would never leave. Because he never had.